Hey guys, welcome back to my channel after over a year. So before the video starts, yes, my hair looks different and I look like a mess because I have no makeup on, but yeah, so that's why my hair looks different, because I just got it done today, and yesterday we filmed the video, so that explains the change of hair. But we didn't really do an intro. It was kind of awkward. I mean, I didn't know how to start it off since it's been a while since I filmed, so Archie, shh. But yeah, basically I hope you guys enjoy the video, and we'll see when you'll see me again. Hopefully it's not another year. I doubt it. Maybe a couple weeks, a month or two, who knows. Yeah, leave me like video ideas because I need ideas too. But yeah, so yeah, let's just play the video. I don't know what else to say, but okay. Alright, we are recording. Proceed. Okay, it's on. Hey guys, so I'm back with Kimberly over here. When was the last time you were on my channel?
I'm gonna say maybe.
Oh, I think it was my nipple piercing video.
Oh, it was a nipple piercing.
That was a long time ago.
It was like what, 2-3 years ago?
It was not that long.
I'm horrible with the, what's it called?
Maybe like 2 years, I guess, but not 3.
Maybe 2 years, yeah. That sounds good.
And we have these microphones. They're not like authentic. They're karaoke microphones, but we just wanted to give the aesthetic of like a podcast, even though this isn't a podcast, but
in my mind, it's a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm tipsy right now.
I'm just like
a little bit feeling it.
I'm feeling it, but I'm good.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, we are doing a Tipsy Girl Talk. What should be our first topic? Should we go with the Instagram ones first? I feel like those are the best ones.
Okay, let's go with those.
Okay. So, I'm not going to say who these are from, just to keep them anonymous, but what do you girls think about situationships? Is it the same as friends with benefits / hookups? Let's see. Yeah, that was pretty much the question.
I would say yes. I feel like yeah, because if you think about it, a situationship, it's not a relationship. It's more like you're just having fun with them. You're just having fun with the person, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just hooking up with them, and so it's the same thing as friends with benefits. Your friends when you guys are hooking up. It's the same thing.
No, I agree. I feel like, well, yeah. But at the same time, friends with benefits, it depends. I mean, because friends with benefits, like, it depends because, like, if you hang out too, if it was not solely just sex, like if it was just sex, then wouldn't that just be like a hookup?
It could be. It could be, or
As where, yeah, because even if you're like friends with benefits too, because friends with benefits, I mean, you could just be like friendly, like, yeah, you could possibly hang out still too, but I feel like probably not like the touchy-feely, like acting like a couple thing isn't a part of it, but a situationship. I feel like I'm in a lot of those a lot of the time. Yeah, I feel like situationships are really common nowadays too.
they really are. They really are.
Kind of sucks. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to find something.
That's in dating life now. It's really shocking.
Yeah,
Shocking, but not shocking. Yeah.
yeah, but overall, I would say it's not exactly 100% like friends with benefits / hookups, but it's kind of leaning more kind of towards that way.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah, so I would say like a situationship and the friends with benefits / hookups, they're kind of close to each other, but it just depends on the situation too.
Yeah.
So they're kind of close, but not fully 100% the same thing. So yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
No. I pretty much know what I was going to say.
Okay, the next one is, oh yeah, the same person. She said, also another one is, this one's a good one. Is it a red flag if he doesn't want to take a picture with you? And his excuse is that he doesn't like how he looks in pictures.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red
For
flag.
sure.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, I'm not like I don't really take pictures. You know, like I like to live in the moment. But
yeah, like you go on your Instagram, you don't really post.
Yeah, like I hardly post.
And if you do, it's like little like candid shots, so like not like actual photos of each other. It's just like little like snippets.
Yeah. So like if I was in a relationship and that person told me like if he was someone that takes a lot of pictures, like I would pose, like you know what I mean, and I would not mind him posting it. I would be happy if he posted me. If he doesn't post me, then red flag.
Yeah. No, I would agree because like, especially check like how their friends are too. I mean, if they don't mind being in pictures with other people, why is it different for you?
Exactly.
So that's where it gets suspicious for sure.
That's true.
So yeah, that's a definite red flag, I would say. Biggest to not ignore the red flag.
Yeah,
we always tend to like
ignore the red
we
flags.
always tend to like shift it and try to kind of be like, oh well, maybe like trying to make excuses for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you start making excuses for this person, that's another red flag. You should not have to make excuses for this person. Period.
No, yeah, especially like nowadays too, like the whole situationships, red flags. Some people even like, what's the word? Not fantasize, but they kind of like the idea of toxicity.
I agree. I was one of those people. There's just something about whatever that word is. There's just something about that. I think maybe it's like the thrill of it. Maybe I have issues, but like.
No, but yeah, I feel like toxicity is just being toxic is like even stuff that like people brag about in a good way too. Like it's like something to like glorify.
Yes, exactly. That's the crazy part.
But yeah, what was the question? I forgot the question.
I don't remember. All I remember is saying that being toxic is really exciting.
Well, since we're on the topic of toxic, what about talking about toxic exes?
Write a novel on this one.
Years worth of info for you.
For me, like, do you want to know all the toxic things you did, or?
Yeah, you don't have to be like super specific. Obviously, don't mention his name unless you want to.
No, we're not saying names,
but like he doesn't deserve that.
Exactly.
But we're good people, so we're not gonna be specific with names. Or the location where they're from.
So let's see. One of the many toxic things my ex did. Let's see. Times we would hang out before we were official. He would only want to hang out at night. So I knew that was a red flag. But I didn't know at that time. I was like, what, 17, 18?
Oh, yeah.
So young, you know. I just assumed, this is normal.
Yeah, and you don't care.
Yeah, I was like, this is normal. Like, people hang out at night. Like, this is how it goes. And he would only want to, like, hook up, you know. Obviously, I never gave in, but that's all you wanted to do. And I was like, what happened to talking and communication? Like do we not do that in relationships? Like, because I remember hearing, like, my friends tell me, like, oh, yeah, like, when you're in a relationship, like, you do this and you do that. And it was nothing compared to what I was going through. So I was like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know. Like, I didn't think much of it. Another thing, let's see. We would only hang out when Okay, so this is gonna sound really bad. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Just spill
He
it.
was on and off with his girlfriend at the time, and every time they would break up, they would have like a huge fight, and they would break up, and he would.
You would be like the rebound.
Yeah, I would be the rebound essentially. Yeah. I didn't think. I just assumed, oh, maybe he just missed me. Somebody's like, he came back to me. That's not what it was. That's not what it was. It's called delusion, babe. That's what I had, and he just did that constantly for like months and months. I want to say maybe 6 months. It could be a year. I'm horrible with.
It was for a while.
It was for a while, and he never bought me anything, like anything at all. And coincidentally, whenever Valentine's Day would come up, he would find an excuse to just not talk to me, like find a reason to argue, and then.
Oh really?
Yeah, he would find a reason to argue with me to the point where I would say like, oh, like I don't want to be with you anymore, and always on Valentine's Day. It happened twice. Yeah, and he thought I would see on social media that he bought her stuff, and I was just like,
oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, and I still didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, well, we were broken up, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But still, that was kind of messed up. But and then another thing was a lot of girls, because I live in a small town. I'm not gonna say what small town, but it's just a small town, really small. Everyone knows everyone. And
yeah,
so
this was before she moved away.
Yeah, before I moved to Fresno. And so a lot of girls were coming up to me, like even at work or at school, and be like, oh, are you dating so-and-so? And I would be like, oh, well, if at the moment I would say yes, you know. And they would say, oh, you know, he hit me up to hang out, or he did this, or he did that, or we hooked up, or whatever the situation was, right? And I wouldn't really say anything, because I'd be like, oh, well, we're not serious, so it's, I mean, we're in a relationship, but it's not serious, you know what I mean?
Nothing official.
Yeah, nothing official, you know, and so I just assumed, oh, well, he can do what he wants, you know?
But you got like,
but
it still bothered you though?
It bothered me. It bothered me so much, but like, I would just not say anything.
Those girls are low-key like that though. Like, even if
No,
something's not serious, like, we still expect you to be like,
yeah, exactly, and like,
just for us.
yeah,
Even though, like,
and
we're weird like that.
and he ended up going somewhere, and he himself would send me Snapchats of girls like twerking on him, dancing on him. Oh my gosh, he would send it to me, and he would post it on his story. That was crazy, and like I still wouldn't say anything. I would just be like, oh well, he's allowed to go out and have fun. Yeah, I was a little bit dumb. Some would say. But he was just like a walking red flag. Like, this guy was crazy. Like, he was allowed to do all those things, and I wasn't allowed to go out with my guy friends, who had been my friends since like middle school. And so we had been friends for like 4 or 5 years. You know, they were like really, really good friends of mine. He wouldn't like when I would hang out with them, because he would assume that I was cheating or something. I wasn't allowed to wear certain clothing, because yeah, like he would get mad like whenever I would tell him, oh, I want to hang out with this person. He'd be like, oh, what are you wearing? What do you look like? And so I would like send him a picture, and he'd be like, oh no, you can't wear that, or why are you going dressed out like that? Like, are you looking for someone, or like, are you like hooking up with someone? Like, automatically throw all these things at me. And then died.
I feel like that's so unattractive too for someone to do. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Controlling.
Yeah, and I just assumed, since it was like my first ever, like, I guess it's a situationship, because I don't even consider that a relationship.
Because those never official.
Yeah, so that it was the first one I had ever been in, so I assumed that was normal. Like, people in relationships just did that. People in relationships did that, because I had never been in a relationship. I had never had like an actual what would you say, real connection with the boy before, because like I wasn't allowed to have like guy friends, you know. Assumed that was normal, like that's something that happens, you know. But it wasn't until like years later, like after everything had happened and I had matured more, I realized that was toxic. Like, so toxic. And I realized it because that's all I craved for. That's all I searched for, guys. That's where toxicity comes in. What about you?
So for me, I would say 2 toxic relationships because, well, one, he's probably watching this.
If you're watching this, you suck. I think you know that.
You know who you are. But no, yeah.
I'm trying to get this.
The toxic relationship I first had was when I was, well, technically in high school, like getting out of high school, so yeah, they were just kind of weird. Well, to like make things pretty short, they were talking to someone else, another girl, a coworker, and yeah, so they were just. I feel like they, yeah, I just don't know how to explain it, but yeah, they were definitely toxic. It wasn't like they were one of those people where they were, where you see those posts where the guys are like over exaggerating, say like, oh, I'm gonna hurt myself if you break up with me. That type of toxic.
That's insane.
That kind of toxic, yeah. And of course, me believing them, thinking they were gonna do something to hurt them. I stayed with them for a little bit longer, but yeah, they cheated. Long story short, so I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. So yeah, broke up with them. Okay, I'm gonna reveal something I never told you before.
Oh, this is exciting.
So remember, like I never mentioned it to him either. So if he is watching this, he's gonna find out right now. So, see, this is what happens when I drink. So yeah, remember when I started talking to this person again? It was not last year, but the year before, like during my birthday.
Oh yes, I remember this. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Okay, so there was one day where I went over. We ended up, you know,
you're lying.
Getting down, doing the deed. And I found. Okay, so no. Let's back up to a couple of nights before. So
I'm trying to process this information.
Just wait. Okay, so what's your reaction? Okay, so I need another little step too for this. Okay, so a couple nights before this, let's say I don't remember how long ago, but like a few days ago, we were both drunk. We both got drunk. I stayed the night. And I was drunk. I went through his phone. Well, I didn't go through it, but like I opened it. No, because he had a password, so I didn't know it. But I seen a message from a girl, like the girl's name, but obviously I couldn't open it, see what it said. But it said the girl's name, so I keep that girl's name in my mind. A couple days later, you know, and then afterwards, I seen. No, it was actually right when we were going to. I seen this girl's name on a name tag, like a work name tag, on his fan, in his room.
No.
Her name tag. So obviously that means she was there. And that was right before we were gonna, you know.
She was there as in like live there, or
no, like she was there one night. Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And I was dumb and still went through with the whole thing. And afterwards, obviously, I felt regret.
Yeah.
And I guess he just didn't notice that her name tag was there in his room. But yeah, after that, like a few days later, I think that's when I ended up calling it off. I was like, yeah, apparently you changed, but the name tag says otherwise. So yeah.
You know what? All I gotta say, listen to Georgia Cat ain't shit. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Oh wait, that's all I gotta say.
You know, your microphone died.
You know what?
No, but yeah.
That's crazy. Like, how can you be that old? A grown ass man acting like that. Like, that's just so shocking to me. Like, I don't even expect that from like a 16-year-old. So why would I expect that from like a 20-something-year-old? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just crazy. That's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, that was basically that first toxic ex. And then the second one, I have dog bird and I'm gonna blush. That is not fun. Okay, but yeah, that was the first toxic ex. The second one, I feel like he was kind of toxic in a way.
Really?
You know who he is.
I was like, who?
Not my most recent ex, but the one before that. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one.
That one. Yeah, because I thought that, you know, we were like gonna be, because this was out of like a at the time 2-year break off of like a serious relationship, you know that. Mm-hmm. And that's when we decided to get Hinge.
Yeah.
Hinge. Yeah. That's a whole other story, but yeah. Met him because we downloaded it in January of last year. Yeah, so we downloaded Hinge a year ago. And then when did we meet? I want you to watch this too. Oh my gosh.
Well, that would be interesting. I want to say, could have been March, maybe.
Yeah, it was in March. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
I remember that.
Okay.
It's a special one for me.
No, yeah. So we started talking. Yeah, like 2 months after I downloaded the app, and first date instantly clicked. Thought like, oh yeah, this person, like, I see like good things.
Yeah.
And then. But now looking back though, I see all the red flags. Like, it's crazy how like you just see them
Love
right after. Exactly.
Love is blind.
But yeah, first date went really good, and then I think it was our second date. That's what I should have noticed, is that things went like way too fast. Because that's when he had asked me to be his girlfriend. Just the second
At least
date.
you got asked. I had to ask my boyfriend.
Well, to be fair, he was gonna ask you, but you beat him to the punch.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, second date, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Ended up hooking up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was yeah, the card.
Oh my god.
Mom and Dad, don't watch this. Don't watch it.
That would be awkward.
I'm pretty sure my mom's gonna watch this. I don't know what my dad now. I'm sorry, Mom. But yeah, that happened. And then a couple of weeks, I'd say probably like a good month or so, it was pretty good. Another thing, he had said I love you. When was it? It was pretty like way too soon, honestly. It was maybe like, I'd say like the longest it was like 3 weeks in.
3 weeks in?
If anything, could have been sooner, honestly. And
oh my god.
I said, well, I had told him, I think I love you too. I didn't say I do love you, but I said I think I love you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because it was 2 years after my serious relationship, so I never thought I would feel that way again about anyone.
Definitely.
and that was the first time that I actually had like really strong feelings for someone.
Yeah.
And so I told him like, I think I love you too.
Yeah.
And so yeah, a couple of weeks go by again. I had set a TikTok. I don't know when it was exactly during this whole time frame, but I forgot what it was exactly, what TikTok I sent. But I just remember his message saying, honestly, I wouldn't mind if I got you pregnant. Like, I would make sure to provide for you and for the baby and like stuff like that. Just like the stuff that a girl wants to hear.
Yeah.
And me being a dummy, I was like, oh, this is so cute. But now looking back, I'm like, we weren't even dating for that long. Like, how are you gonna say something
I don't even
like
talk about
that?
pregnancy myself.
Yeah, so I was like, how are you gonna, like, I don't.
He was definitely trying to move on way too fast.
That too. Yeah.
Way too fast.
But yeah, that was another little thing. And then, but yeah, basically, probably like a couple weeks later, ends up changing his mind, saying that he's not ready for a relationship, that he needs to work on himself. Basically like that kind of gist. And then, yeah, we broke up. We were broken up for not even 2 days, honestly, probably like a day and a half.
I remember this.
Because we had gone out that day.
Yeah.
To Tower. Honestly, I think he went to Tower on purpose, though.
Oh, definitely, hands down. What a coincidence! You tell us you're gonna be somewhere. And
yeah, because we had met up in his car before. We had gone out that night. And I was all dressed up and stuff too. But I put my jacket on because I was trying to like cover, trying to not let him see like what I was trying to wear. But
Yeah.
he did get it like a little peek. But yeah, basically, no, because, no. He wanted to break these off because it was for those reasons I just mentioned earlier, but his ex at the time, which apparently she was the toxic one. I don't know, because I never got like her side of the story. I kind of wish like I was able to like contact her though.
Yeah.
Like to get her side of the story, but yeah, I guess she had. Did she message him? Oh no. She had messaged because his mom was still like in contact with her. Because I mean they were gonna, like, you know, they were gonna have a kid together, but then, you know, like stuff happened, so it didn't end up happening. Not trying to put that girl's business out here, but yeah, his mom and her were still like pretty close.
Yeah.
And I guess that him overhearing like his mom and his sister talking about like how she's doing so good and how he's like doing bad over like their relationship, and that kind of made him go like in a toll, like kind of like, which was making him think like rethink like if he is ready for a relationship. Which at the time I was like, oh, okay, that's a reasonable like a reason, like an excuse. A good excuse. But yeah, like that night we went out, the next day he ended up wanting to get back together. And it was up to me, he said, that if I wanted to get back together or not. And of course I gave him the other chance. Not even like a month later, same thing. Same excuse. He wants to focus on himself. He's not ready. He has too much baggage, he says. He doesn't want to hurt me. Which I see this post on Instagram that really opened my mind a few months ago, like when that happened, where they say like they don't want to hurt you. It means they are gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
But,
I believe that 100,000%.
That they're acknowledging that they are. Like it's basically like a warning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so he said the same thing. So this time we did break up. I would still go over. We would, you know, still act like a couple. You know, do couple things, but we weren't together. I went through his phone. Like I actually went through his phone.
Oh, she's crazy.
I did tell you about this time.
Yeah,
This time
I remember.
He was in the restroom. Oh yeah, if he's watching this, he's gonna find this out too. A lot of exes are gonna find out a lot of stuff if they watch this. Yeah, because I didn't mention it to him. He went to the restroom, I went through his phone, and then there was the message from the girl. Had like the heart emoji or like the heart eye emoji or like those like lovey kind of emojis are on her name. It didn't say anything specific. I think it was like something like she was out with friends, but I mean the emojis said it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got out the restroom. I was like, I just felt stupid. I really did. Because I was still like giving myself to this person even though we weren't like
together.
Yeah. And then so after I was like, you know, this has to stop. Like either we are gonna be together or we're just not gonna like this is it.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything. He was like speechless. He didn't say anything. He just stared at me and just basically said like, okay. So, and then I left, and then that night when I got home, I don't think I have the message, so I'm pretty sure I deleted it because I deleted his number, but he had basically said like, I understand your decision, I respect it, and yeah, I think that was pretty much it, and then I just never heard from him again.
That's crazy. It's you going through phones for me.
I mean, I had a gut feeling though. That's my excuse. When you have that gut feeling,
always trust that gut feeling. Always.
Like I'm not just gonna do something like that just to do it, like for funsies.
Yeah, for funsies.
For funsies.
That's me.
No. Like, I might think toxic thoughts sometimes, but I don't act on them unless I have that gut feeling. Then I'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, those are the two toxic kind of situations that I've been through.
I can't decide which one's worse, honestly.
Honestly, I feel like the second one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like the first one, because I never really like was in love with him.
Yeah.
But this second person, like I never like fully fell in love with them, but I did love them.
Yeah.
I did love them.
I get that. Yeah.
And it sucked having, because I put myself out there after that serious relationship I was in.
Yes, exactly.
And I never thought I was gonna feel like that for someone, so I actually put my all into that person, and like I opened myself up. I was vulnerable, and for them to like turn it around.
Yes, that's crazy.
And the fact, before we stop, the fact is, because we kept following each other after that for a little bit. And the fact is, I'm pretty sure it's not that same girl too. I'm pretty sure it was a different girl. But on his Instagram, before I like unfollowed him, he had posted like a little snippet of this girl saying like he's with this girl and they were like out to eat or something. And I was just like, so even like the girl he was messaging before, it's like, so the working on yourself, not being ready was basically just bullshit.
Yeah.
It was just excuses. Like, why couldn't you just have been upfront and told me like, oh well, I'm just not interested in you.
Yeah.
Like, why lie?
Exactly.
Like, what's the point? Like, if there's someone else you want to be with, then just say it.
Exactly.
Be upfront about
like,
it.
Don't be a pussy. Like, just be straight up with it. Like, we're all adults here. Like, we're all mature. We're all grown. Act like it. Act like adults. Like, why do you have to go and
like,
do
there
that?
should be no reason to make excuses.
Exactly.
So
like, admit you're a fool.
Like, I've never been sad about our breakup. Or, like, you, like, cried or anything. I've just always been so mad about it. Because that's what makes me mad, is the fact that he lied for the reason why we broke up.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's when you...
Yeah. But yeah, that's my experience with like toxic exes. Let me check the next topic. So, there was another person on Instagram that suggested some stuff for us to talk about. They had said, So kind of like on the same topic of toxic exes, what's a deal breaker and how do you, like how to know signs if you're in a toxic relationship?
A deal breaker for me would probably be the way you speak about your mom and your sisters.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge thing for me. Like, that's how I know, like, if you treat your mother horribly, if you treat your sisters horribly, you're gonna treat me horribly. That's like a given fact. So like, I always ask this question. Like, I always ask questions about family. Like, oh, like, do you get along with your mom, like, tell me about your sisters or brothers, whatever the situation may be. And if they immediately start speaking bad, you know, about the mother or the sisters,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. You are not the one. But if they speak really highly of their mother or of their sisters, you're like, oh yeah, they may be annoying or they may be this and that, but they're this and that, you know, speaking highly of them. Then it's like, oh, like, you're not trying to, like, because a lot of guys know that girls ask these kind of questions, you know, and like they will lie about it just to like trap you, you know. And when they answer that way, it's like, oh, like they're being genuine and like sincere about their response, about how they feel towards their parents or siblings, you know. That's a deal breaker for me.
My deal breaker, I feel like them not wanting to really like not show you off, but like what would I say, like introducing you, I guess.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
what if
that's
they
a
don't
good
want to
one.
like, oh, I don't want you to meet my family or like
yeah,
friends or something like that.
huge.
Like, I feel like that's not good.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah. As for like signs that you're in one, I would say that's the sign right there.
That's definitely a sign. Yeah.
The whole picture thing that we were talking about earlier, like not wanting to take pictures, that's a sign right there too.
A huge one for me is if they can't text or be on phone calls around you.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge one. Or like they don't look at their phone at all when they're with you, like.
Or if they have to like turn their screen too.
Yes, that's
like if they're
a
not
major.
comfortable with having their screen kind of like not directly in your like direction, but like, you know, still like facing like
yeah. That's a huge. That's off the bat. They're doing something for sure.
Yeah.
You know. What you said?
I mean, there's so many red flags.
There's so many. Or.
Okay, we gotta take a break because I gotta pee. Have any other red flags? I honestly couldn't think of anything.
I couldn't.
Off the top of my head.
There's
a lot
so
out there.
many. Or if they never want to take you out to eat at all, they only want to eat like inside, like takeout. And they just want to be.
Yeah, if they don't really want to go out in public.
Yeah, exactly. That's. I would know that one. I would know.
Overall, I would just say like my biggest advice is just trust your gut.
Always trust your gut. It's never failed me. Never failed me.
What are self-values you hold as a person? Okay. I would say like self-values. Well, first thing that comes up in my mind is just like your, not boundaries, but like, how do I explain it? Like, for example, my most previous ex, he was a good person. He was nice. Like, there was nothing really wrong with him. At least that I know of. No, but he was a cool person. Like, no beef with him or anything. But yeah, I broke it off with him because I just wasn't really, it didn't feel genuine. I wasn't really feeling it. But yeah, he had a really good job, made really good money, spoiled me, treated me right, like all the good things. But I'm not that type of person to stay with someone. Like, I'm not a gold digger.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I could have been set with this person. Like, I wouldn't have to work a day in my life.
Yeah.
Like, Like, that must be, like, what a lot of girls nowadays would want.
Yeah,
like, to just be a housewife. Like, just same. But the fact that I wasn't in love with this person, like, I didn't love them, I couldn't stay with them. Like, even knowing the fact that I would be set with them, like, I was raised that way to not depend on a man.
Yes, I agree.
So, I couldn't stay with them. I couldn't. Those romantic, like, that love wasn't there. If anything, it just felt like a friendship.
Yeah.
If anything, because I didn't care about this person. They were a good person, but I mean, you know who this person is.
Yeah.
But
he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Like, hang out with. Too,
yeah.
So, yeah, he was pretty cool. He was chill. He was funny too. But yeah, I couldn't stay just because of, like, that reason. Like, there's more to it than that. Than just staying with someone because of, like, their money and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of like something that I keep valued to myself, is like, don't just be with someone for, like, a reason other than, like, you're actual, like, in love with them.
Yes. I would say mine's the exact same though. Like, I don't think I could be with someone just to, you know, like, having a boyfriend just to have a boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
have a boyfriend because you genuinely see, like, the future with this person, or, like, you see yourself being with this person for a while, you know? So, like, I definitely agree with what you were saying, you know?
What birth control would you recommend? And what do you use?
None. I'm just kidding. Honestly. See, personally, I'm on the pill. That one is...
Same here.
I don't have any side effects that I know of, at least.
Thankfully, yes.
Thankfully, yeah. Thankfully, the only good things is, like, my period is cut shorter. But, you know, or I went up a bra size.
I know,
I'm not
talking about that earlier.
But I haven't had any bad side effects. You know, I feel the same. My hormones are not that bad. Like, I'm already a naturally an emotional person. Like, I'm a Cancer, okay? Like, I cry for everything. Like, I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm excited. Like, I cry for everything, okay? So that's just, like, a normal for me. And so for the pill, it doesn't make really, like, my hormones are still pretty much intact, you know? But what would I recommend? I've never tried any other kind of birth control, but I do know people who have taken, like, different kinds of birth control, and I mean, the reviews have not been good.
I mean, I guess that's where I can kind of speak on it, because I've had two.
Yeah. So I would personally, I would recommend the pill one. Like,
yeah, I would too.
But that's just me. Everyone's
body's different. Yeah.
But I have cousins who are on the pill, and they have the same reaction as me. Like, they didn't really feel any different. So, I mean, it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I very first got on birth control, it was the arm implant, the next one.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you came with me that night.
I remember that.
Well, you didn't actually go in there.
Yeah.
I was
all support.
Yeah, support. In the waiting room, support. But yeah, the arm one, that one, I feel like that was the most. I chose that one because it's the most effective. It was like 99% effective. And I mean, you never have to go back in and, like, have to keep up with it all the time. It was just there in your arm for, like, maybe 3 years, and that's when you have to go back in and get it replaced. But yeah, that one wasn't good. I've heard horror stories about that one too. Like, you would get stuck in there and stuff. Anything that goes in your body like that, they say you shouldn't really trust because it'll get stuck or something like that. But basically, for me, I had really bad mood swings. I would get kind of like, not like full-on depression, but I would kind of feel like, get like those sad kind of waves randomly. And yeah, that went on for a couple months. And then the whole entire time, I was on it for kind of almost a year. I would say probably like 8 months or so, and I was on my period basically the whole entire time. It was horrible.
That is horrible.
Like, it wasn't like full on blood, like heavy flow kind of period, but it was still like, even if it was like very like lightweight blood, it was still a period. So
yeah.
That sucked.
That sounds horrible. I can't even stand 3 days. I don't think I can.
Originally, I would have my period for a week. But since now I'm on the pill, because I switched from the arm implant, I got the pill instead. No side effects, thank goodness. And I always make sure to put alarms so I don't forget, because I always forget. Thankfully, nothing's happened. So
honestly, I'm starting to think I'm infertile.
Same.
I really am.
I feel like because I always have balance. I feel like I should have took a long time ago.
Not only that, but like I'm not very careful sometimes, you know? So like I really genuinely think I could be infertile, because there's no way.
Is there a way to get tested for that?
Infertility?
Yeah.
Possibly. It's expensive though. It's expensive though.
I mean,
we live in America. There's just like a
tax season.
Not tax season.
Tax season.
Girl, I need that for my credit card. I'm getting sued, remember?
Not fun. Hurry. Don't mind us for brain farting over here in the dream. Damn. No, where were we though? So it was the birth control pill. Yeah, the pill's better. Long story short, the pill's better than the arm implant. Yeah. Because normally, like, naturally my period's a week long, but with the pill it's probably like a day or two less, if anything.
Yeah.
I wish it was shorter though. It must be nice to have like just a 3-day period.
Oh, it was wonderful this month.
I bet.
Wonderful. The cramps were not fun. But it was totally worth it. I'm so like, I don't mind going through horrible cramps the first day if that means I only get three days.
I don't get why we have to have multiple days. Like, why can't we just have one day?
Seriously.
That's all we need as to let us know that we're
like,
pregnant.
I don't mind bleeding out. Like, that's fine. Like, if it was just one day, I would love that.
That's all the reminder I need to know that I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
It's just
like, why are you gonna torture us for 5 or 7 days? Like, what's going on?
It's not fair. We have to go through so much.
Seriously. I agree.
Speaking of periods though, are you more of a pad girl or a tampon girl?
Tampon all the way. I did pads when I was younger. But pads are just...
They're so uncomfortable.
They really are.
They are. It's like a diaper.
Yes.
I was always a pad girl until... What was it? I think after I graduated high school. I remember once trying to put a tampon in.
Oh, that was a horror story.
How old was I? I was probably like 15 at the time. Oh my gosh. It was horrible. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yes.
It hurt.
It hurts so freaking bad.
If you don't put it the right way, it hurts.
It hurts,
You feel it. And you're not supposed to feel it.
And I was trying to pull it out and it hurt even more. And I was like, you know what?
No.
It was getting to the point where I was actually like crying. Like I had a mirror and I was like trying to like look and guide it. And I started crying because I gave up. I was like, there's no way it's not gonna go in, you know? And so I was like, oh, let me just pull it out. And it hurt so freaking bad. Like it hurt so bad. Like I was crying. Like I had tears on the mirror and shit. And swear, like my cousin was there. She was guiding me like underneath, because I was in the bathroom. She was guiding me like through underneath the door.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, Kim. She was like much younger than me too. She was like maybe like 14, and I was like 16, 17. But that was a horror story. But then I tried it again when I was like 18 or 19, and I got it right that time. And I've never looked back after that. I have no complaints. I mean, I feel like you definitely, it's more high maintenance, I feel. But
did you lose your virginity before or after that happened? Putting the tampon in?
It's before.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it was anything special.
It is The flops in there. It's easier to put in.
No, for me, it's like I never did.
But yeah, it's so much easier putting cap on it now that we're like used to it. It's just like,
It feels like I never lost a virginity the first time. I'm convinced I didn't. I'm convinced 100% no one will literally, you can't even tell me this. I swear to you, I didn't. I did not lose my virginity the first time. I know I didn't. I can testify that I did not. I just know I didn't. That should say everything.
The size was not there.
It wasn't. Just thinking about it, I'm grossed out.
I feel like
I have the chills.
Majority of us regret our first time though.
1,000%. Like, I would rather wait until I was like 25 to do that.
I knew I wasn't ready my first time too.
Oh yeah, me neither. I was definitely not ready, and especially because I was not expecting that. Disappointment. Pure disappointment. Okay.
0 out of 10.
Negative 0 out of 10. That was horrible. God.
Well,
I hope he sees this.
Turned into that. Tag him in it.
I swear.
Just tag him in it. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Yeah, tampons are a lot better. You just have to get used to it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're younger, like it's a lot of getting into.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Just gotta practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my sister too, I feel like she had mentioned before, I think that she was like scared of like trying to put one.
Yeah.
But
like everyone
it's
is.
not bad though.
It really isn't. Once you
Yeah.
really, like, once you know what you're doing, it's...
Yeah, because the first time I tried putting it in, when it hurt, I wasn't even in the right position. I think it was on the floor. Like, that's not even the right way.
No.
You just gotta like, you don't have to squat on the toilet. I usually just spread my legs on the toilet. And
Yeah.
then just
Yeah, I can do that.
pop it on in.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, have you ever tried the Diva cup? Like those little plastic cups?
I don't want no plastic cup up
I
my
feel like-
pooch.
I don't know how I feel about those.
I don't like that.
I have too much of a heavy. I'm not trying to get too TMI, but yeah, I have a heavy flow. Especially the first day or two, it's heavy.
Mine's not
and
that crazy.
Those cups are so small.
Yeah.
Too. Especially for like in public too, like work or something, you have to constantly like change it out.
Exactly.
And then trying to like, I don't know, I've never seen like the proper way to put it, but you have to like kind of like,
I just don't like
shove
that.
it, but kind of like, you know.
I just don't like the idea of it, and you will not get me to do that. I won't do it.
How many relationships have you been in?
Without counting the one I'm in.
Well, you can count the ones that you're in.
One.
First one.
Because I don't count the first one. That
Yeah,
does
it
not
wasn't
count in
in
my
a relationship.
that does not count in my book. At all.
It was a situation.
It really was a situationship. So I have nightmares. That bad.
Let me see. Well, I'm a little kind of buzzed still to count right now. Let me see. Well, I only consider 3 of them like relationships. But
I think I know who you're talking about.
oh wait, no. 4. Honestly, I don't know. Like I feel like there's like 2 that was actually like really like invested in, but the other ones were just like, I don't know.
They're just like bleh.
Yeah, basically, yeah. To sum it up, let me see. I honestly cannot count right now. That's what she said. I can't. I'm stuck at math as much as it is sober. Like just to basically count right now. Like oh my gosh. Don't stare at me too. You're making me like you're making me kind of nervous.
Okay. I'll stare at the wall or this Hello Kitty thing staring at me.
So 7, technically.
7?
Technically. But only I even include the toxic one as, well, the first toxic one as a relationship.
Yeah.
Because,
essentially, it was.
yeah. And then the second toxic one was a relationship too. And then there was the one that was serious that we dated twice.
I'm all zoned out. I'm just like.
I know, I'm starting to like zone out.
My eyes are like on fire for some reason.
Should we talk about whole phases?
I don't think I had a whole phase. Like, I never officially hooked up with anyone. It was more like I would make out with them at the club and that was it. Like, I never actually like took it to that level personally, you know. Did I want to? Yes, but I didn't.
But you didn't pursue it.
I didn't pursue it. I don't know. I've always been like, I don't know. I've always been very like reserved about that. You know, personally, because like I feel like because of how bad my experiences were, I was just like I don't even want to do that again. You know, so I was just like no, but like I would talk to like different guys at the same time, which I know a lot of people say that the talking stage you're supposed to be loyal. I was not loyal. Okay, I was not loyal. Sorry, but like while I was talking to you, I was talking to two other ones. You know what I mean? Like especially when I downloaded the apps.
Oh yeah. No, but it's kind of like a game though at first, kind of.
No, you're talking about Bumble.
No, but seriously, it is kind of like, it feels like a game.
It
It
is
does.
like
You get click, like you get hooked on it.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like at
And then
first.
at some point you're like, why am I even talking to this person?
Yes, like, you have no idea like how many
Like, what
times
if you actually
like,
think like, oh shit, like they actually want to meet up?
yes,
And
like,
now you're like,
yes.
I
And
don't
the thing
know.
about me is like I would go on it when I was drunk. So I would go on it when I was
That's
drunk, and
the
I would be
worst
doing
time.
all those things, and then like obviously you know how Bumble you make the first move, so like I would hit them up like
Yeah.
hey like do you want to hang out, blah blah blah, and then immediately they'd be like oh yeah let's hang out this day at this time, and I'd be like oh yeah I'm down like blah blah blah, and then when I came down to it like the next day I would look at my messages and I would see that I put that. And I'd be like, hell no. I mean, I would keep talking to the guy. People are probably gonna hate me for this, but like, I would keep talking to the guy on the date came that we were supposed to hang out. I would just ghost them. I would ghost them, and I would be like, I would not, and they would text me and text me and text me, and like the next day, I would look at it like, oh, like I was stuck at work, or oh, I was stuck babysitting, or like I always make up the stupidest shit just to keep talking to this person, but I would never actually meet up with them.
Yeah.
I think I didn't. No, with none of them, I didn't. Only with one, but that's different. That one was funny. What about your whole face?
I regret it.
I regret
I regret it. No, it's not fun. It's not. I just did it like to, you know, like we say fuck it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
our
I
motto.
get that.
That's
Yeah.
our motto. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't. I'm more of like the type of girl who wants something serious. Not something where I just want to mess around. Like,
Yeah.
I expect more. I'm just more of like a love. I feel like it's because I'm a loving person too, so I'm just. That's what I'm like expecting.
Yeah.
It's like that commitment, that serious type of connection.
Yeah.
See what the next question is. Yeah, I think there was just two more. Self-love. Any tips on self-love?
Self-love. I would probably say, it's a hard one. Oh my god.
I feel like it's just a learning process too.
It really is. Because even now, like, I mean, I'll feel like, oh, like, I feel like I look like this, or I feel like I look like that,
Yeah.
and like, oh, this doesn't look good on me, or this looks
We'll
like this
compare
on me.
ourselves too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, so I should, but like, it doesn't happen as much anymore, like it used to. Like, but I feel like it's like a learning process for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to like take it one step at a time, definitely.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like it's, yeah, it's a hard one. That's really hard.
Yeah, overall, it's just a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
For sure, you gotta love yourself before you can love anyone else.
Oh yes, 100%. I agree.
Next one. How to get over a past relationship.
So for me,
like a breakup. Like,
how to get over a breakup?
yeah.
Well, for me personally, I feel like taking time for yourself is definitely a major thing. Like, really focus on yourself. Focus on what you want, like your needs, what you expect in your upcoming relationships. You know, like, set up boundaries, like what you would tolerate, what you wouldn't tolerate is definitely one thing too. But I feel like that's also a learning process. Like, you have to really go through that to, you know, like, and it may seem like the end of the world at the time, like, oh my god, like, I'm never gonna find love like this again, like, I'm never gonna find, you know, someone like this, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you really like take the time to love yourself and like really just focus on yourself 100%, like, I feel like when it comes to you, it comes to you for sure. Because like, I feel like when you go, like, after you get out of a like really long relationship and you go to like looking for something like right away, like, that's just not helping you, like, your mental state, you know what I mean? Like, definitely, like, people probably think it's like, oh, like, everyone says to take time for yourself, but no, like, that's really like, that's really true. Like, really take the time for yourself, really do that. Like, I was single for like 5 years, like single, you know, like, not, yeah, I would talk to guys, but like, I wouldn't be in a relationship. I was single for like 5 years, and like, I would do it all over again. I really would. Like, it was honestly worth the wait, like, I feel. So, and it's because I didn't go out looking for that relationship I had lost. Like, I accepted the fact that it happened. There was no going back. Like, it is what it is. That's life, you know. It took a while for me to comprehend that, and then, you know, right when I was like ready to go back, you know, it came to me. I didn't go looking for it, you know, and I really believe that. Like, it really does come to you, you know.
Yeah.
That's just how for me, that worked. I don't know, everyone's different. Everyone copes differently, but that's just how I coped, you know?
No, yeah, that's true. I feel like, yeah, it is different for everyone. I mean, it depends on, like, the situation too, like, how serious the relationship was also.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like, cause I mean, you know, there's always like that one relationship where I feel like I'll never, like, those feelings will never go away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, I know that I'll always have love for that person.
Not me, but
it's different for everyone.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah. I'm always gonna have like that. No matter what, I'm always gonna have like that special place left in my heart for them, which makes me think that I'll never get over them, but at the same time, like that, it's different when it's like your first love, so that's what makes it different.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, breakups are tough.
Yeah.
They are. Like, no matter the situation, they're always like, they suck.
They suck. They really do.
And it sucks to know that, like, love isn't enough sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Although I admit I had my flaws too. Like, I'm not gonna say that it was just one person.
Oh no, yeah.
Like, I admit that I had my flaws too. Like, I was never really like the communication type.
Oh yeah, same
I
here.
was never really like good at communicating my feelings, communicating like
Same.
how I felt about a situation. Not that he would care anyways, but like but like I was never good with that, and I was never good with being affectionate. Like, I've always been like the like I don't like hugs, I don't like any of that, you know? Like, I've always been, well, I'm not gonna say I've always been like that, because I'm not like that now. But like, I was like that, you know? So I admit that I just but you gotta realize it was like my first really like situationships. Like, I didn't really know like what to do, what to expect, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't really know much.
Because it wasn't like a real.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know what it was, you know, and like he was more experienced than I was, for sure. Like 100% more experienced than I was. So like, I didn't, you know, he could easily tell me, oh, this is how relationships work, and I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, he knows more than I do, so he's right, you know? But definitely he was at fault 98% of the time. My fault was like 2%. But but I admit, like, I had my flaws, you know, and I feel like you learn and you grow from your past relationships, and like,
No, yeah, for sure.
you learn to not do that in your future relationships, you know. It helps you prosper more.
Yeah. So this is a question of vibe. Well, like a topic that I chose was how, like, basically this whole video, like what we've discussed, how these conversations are taboo in specifically Mexican households. Like how, like, sex and birth control, stuff like that, like, it's not something to be spoken about with family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it took a long time for my parents to be open about like sex. Like, you know, growing up, like, we weren't allowed to see anything explicitly, like, at all, like, you know. And I was never really given the sex talk.
Same.
I was never really given the talk. It was just more like when I got my period the first time when I was like 14. I remember telling my mom, like, oh, you know, like, I got my period, and she was just like, oh, you know, this means you're a woman now. It means you have to be careful about boys. You know, they're gonna, because you're a woman now, your body's gonna start changing. You're gonna start changing, and it's easier for you to get pregnant. That's all she would say. Like, she never specifically gave me like the bird and bee talk. You know, she never gave me that talk.
They just tossed me into the school, like the class.
It wasn't until like
the family education stuff. Yeah.
It wasn't until I was like maybe, I don't know, like.
Because for me, when they did it at Slater, remember working there?
Yeah,
it was 6th grade. That's when I like actually like learned about that stuff.
Exactly, but it wasn't until like a few years back, where my parents have became more open to the topic. You know, now, I mean, obviously you don't talk about your sex life with your parents, but like it's a bit like a conversation that you can have with them without feeling weird about it or feeling like, oh, like, this is awkward. Because, like, I mean, parents know.
Yeah.
Especially moms.
Moms
they know. They know when, you know, you've been a woman. They know. I don't know how, but they know. My mom said it's in the hips. I don't know. I don't believe her. My hips look the same to me, but according to her, it's in the hips. But she's delusional. I'm pretty sure she thinks I'm like the Virgin Mary. I really do, but I think it's her delusions. But yeah, like, they've been more open about the topic, about mental health too, like, you know, a lot of Mexican.
Yeah, that too. A lot of people like to talk about like
my parents would. Yeah, my parents were one of those people. Like, they would be like, oh, they're not depressed, they're just lazy, or they're just tired. There's no such thing as depression. Like, there's no such thing as anxiety. Up until my grandpa, who's like 90 years old, was diagnosed with anxiety.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like, my mom was like, anxiety, but it doesn't run in the family. And I was like, well, you don't know. It could skip generations, you know? And it turns out my cousin had been in a really bad car accident, and so he was also diagnosed with anxiety. and then my other cousin was too. So it turns out everyone in our family has freaking anxiety. And so my parents, like, I educated them on it, you know, I did my research, and I was like, you know what, depression is this, anxiety is this, it's not, you know, it's just something that just happens, you know, it's like an imbalance in your brain. It's not like you just choose to be depressed, you choose to have anxiety, like, that's not how it works, you know?
Yeah, it just happens.
And they've been really open about it, so now they're like, oh, can you believe that so-and-so has anxiety, like, that's just so sad, poor that she has to do this, or she does that, like, they're very, like, way more open to the idea now.
Yeah, like,
you know?
they're acknowledging
they're acknowledging that it's
Yeah.
actually a thing, and like a lot of people have it, you know. The same thing with periods. Like, my dad doesn't flinch when I mention periods. He's just like, oh, okay, like, it is what it is, you know. He doesn't cringe at the thought of it, or like say, oh, this is girl talk. He's just like, oh, like, okay, like, you know.
I feel like it's weird when, like, guys, like, are like that kind of, like...
That is a major red flag,
yeah,
too,
because
though.
it's a natural thing that
Yeah,
girls
like,
go through.
everyone goes through this. Like, every woman ever.
Yeah. Yeah, like, with my family, we don't ever really talk about stuff like that. Like, personal stuff? Yeah, we don't really get personal.
Yeah.
Like, my mom asked me once if I lost my virginity. That was pretty much, like, the only, like, deep personal thing that she brought up one time, and I was like a really quick conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
And my mom never asked me, but I know she knows.
oh yeah.
I know she knows.
I mean, we're at that age, so it's
Yeah.
obvious.
I know she knows. And like she says, there's this saying, I don't know if anyone else has heard it, but like my dad will say it. Whenever my brother would spend the night like at his girlfriend's house, and my mom would ask him like, what do you think they're doing? Do you think they're watching movies? Do you think they're... And my dad was like, pues no fueron a contar las estrellas. Like, they didn't go to count the stars. Like, they're doing something else. So I feel like my mom, like, when I spend the night, like, my boyfriend's house, she knows. Like that one on TikTok, she knows. Oh, she knows. That's her. But I feel like she doesn't say it. Like, you know, in her mind, she probably thinks I'm not, but she deep down, she knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah. You like to think, oh no, but
She would never.
yeah.
Girl. I'm so glad my mom won't see this.
Yeah, we could end it off here then. I feel like we went through some pretty good topics.
Yeah.
Hopefully the audio isn't so terrible with our mics cutting off and on.
Well, like her mic, because mine turned off like 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it probably doesn't sound the best quality too, but at least I'm posting a video. It's been, what, over a year? At least I'm posting something.
Yeah.
Some people have been asking me to post something, so here we go. Can't promise you another video, but we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we should do like another like food video or something.
Oh, I love food. I love food.
I should do a video teaching you how to cook something.
I'll probably burn the apartment down, but you know, it's the thought that counts.
We'll make some cereal. Start off small. Be like on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Do you remember that episode? From London, she doesn't know how to do cereal. She asks, what comes first, the milk or the cereal?
Oh, I remember that. Yep, I remember that. That's what
it doesn't matter as long as you remember the bowl.
Yes.
Do you do milk first or cereal first?
I definitely do cereal first.
Yeah. I feel like, because I mean, if you do the milk first, it'll splash everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're gonna end this. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like it was pretty interesting to talk about this kind of stuff. Kind of exposed some stuff about us, especially me. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And maybe I'll see you in the next video. We'll see how often I'll be posting again. Alright, so we are out of here.
I'm gonna go Mimi's.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna go to sleep. Alright, bye guys.
Bye.